today we're actually going to start with our acupressure because I want to start us with the immune points flow, because we are getting into cold and flu and COVID season, and it's just good practice. Then we'll move into the Peaceful Dragon Rising flow, and then we will do a movement, actually a set of 4 movements from the Wild Goose Qigong form, and end with a meditation. So that's what you can expect today. And so to get started, you do not actually need to stand in any particular way to do this immune flow, but we will go through it. As you may recall, we have 3 points that we'll use in the torso, 3 points in the legs, and 3 points in the arms, and then repeat most of the torso. So to start, we have a very special point that we don't apply direct or firm pressure to. We find kidney 27 right under our clavicle, and we're just going to hold it gently, like we're embracing a friend. If you'd like, you can visualize, this is the last point on the kidney meridian, so you can think about the first point on the soles of your feet touching the ground, and that meridian pulling all the way up to where your fingertips embrace it, pulling that earth energy up through your feet, all the way here to your clavicle. Because we're not rubbing, there's nothing really to count. If you'd like to, when you're doing this on your own, you can take, say, 6 deep breaths while you're embracing kidney 27. But otherwise, we'll just wait till it feels right. And we'll move on to the next point, which is bladder 23 in the back. But what we do is actually just rub our lower backs like we usually do. So we say when we do this that we're rubbing our kidneys, and certainly we are, but we're also rubbing a couple of different bladder points, 32 and 23, 23 and something, 47-ish something. Bladder runs up and down the back, and many of its points actually correspond to other organs. So bladder 23 here that we're rubbing corresponds to the kidneys. So we are spending a lot of time on kidney points in this immunity flow. So you got to stay hydrated when you're sick. Yeah, just nice vigorous rub as we're so accustomed to. And then with that nice and loosened up, a little bit unconventional use of a very common point. We're going to find our lower dantian. There's my belly button. A couple fingers down is my dantian. Overlap your hands as we often do, but now rather than simply think about it and meditate, we're going to apply firm pressure, pulling that dantian in back towards the spine. And this is not one that you can hold for very long. So, and it's kind of hard to take deep breaths in this position as well. So we're just going to take it as long as we can and let it go. And now those are our 3 main torso points. We'll revisit the torso and swap out the dantian for the heart center, but that's later. Next, we're going to do our leg points. And the first one is the classic stomach 36. So if you are not familiar with how to find stomach 36, you think of like the bottom edge of your knee. It's about a hand's width down from that and a finger width over to the side. And you can feel around, it should feel, I'm shaking the camera, it should feel a little tender. And if you are sitting down or if you can bend over, you can find that you can rub both of those at the same time. Now, stomach 36, you can choose to rub 36 times as the monks suggest, or you can simply rub it for 30 seconds to 2 minutes. 36 times is honestly the quickest way to accomplish this, and you'll find that you get a sense of about how long you rub something when you rub it 36 times. And eventually you will be able to sort of judge how long that should be without having to count. But as always, you can just rub the point till it feels like it is loosened up and you've got energy flowing through it. Next, our next point in the legs is kidney 3. Kidneys keep coming up, don't they? And I'm not going to be able to pull my foot high enough up. But if you find your ankle bone on the inside of your ankle, and then you move just back from there to the depression in between your ankle bone and your Achilles tendon, that is kidney 3. Right there on our little friend Preston, acupressure Preston. And you can just give that a nice rub. I like to rub it sort of along that Achilles tendon, kind of like this. You do whatever feels right for you. This one, if you are in the right position, you could get both at the same time. If you're sitting down with your legs in front of you, you can rub both kidney 3s at the same time. This is the source point for the kidney meridian. So in addition to the first and last points, this one is very powerful for activating that kidney meridian, which is, the filtration organ that is standing in here for a metaphor for expelling any things that have gotten into your system that shouldn't be there, such as a little virus that we don't need to have around. So that's what kidney 3 is helping us do. And last, if you're familiar with acupressure, you will be able to guess that the final leg point is liver 3. And liver 3, as we know, get Preston here. If you find the little space between your toe bones of your big toe and your next toe and go up to where that joint makes it so that you can't really go up any further, that's right where liver 3 is. You can give that a nice brisk rub. We love liver 3. It is just really good for making sure your energy is flowing and harmonious and clear. And what can't it do? Rub the other one, hop back and forth. Should I have gotten a chair? It's not important. And when that feels done, we'll stand back up because we're going to do our arms next. So in our immune flow, we are going to use 3 points in the arm, starting with large intestine 11, which is in the fleshy bit of the elbow right on the side. And if you fold your arm, it's going to be right at the end of that crease in your elbow. Oh yeah, that's the one. And oddly enough, what we do with this one in the immunity flow is we actually pluck it. And even funnier, we can do both at the same time. So if you see someone walking down the street going like this, you know that they're in the know about acupressure. That's beautiful. Oh, and you do it faster than that, a little slow. We do feel kind of like a bird here, right? It's funny. But we are running energy through this, and you'll notice the large intestine, which is one of our metal element organs, also an organ focused on getting things you don't need out of you. So we are going to use a couple large intestine meridian points. Okay, that feels right. That feels right. And next we're going to use triple burner 6, which is about here on the wrist. It's not super important exactly where it is because we're just going to rub this entire section of the triple burner meridian. Now the triple burner is the organ that doesn't have a physical form, but it is responsible for moving energy and fluid and everything your organs need into those organs, and make it's just making everything run. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the triple burner has to exist because it is fulfilling this sort of behind the scenes duty. And I'm going to end by just sort of like swiping down to try to get stuff out of that meridian. And move on to the next one. I love the triple burner meridian. It's very useful. It runs from sort of going around your ears down to out your ring finger. Oh, that feels very nice. And last but not least, in the arms, another usual suspect, large intestine 4. So in a very analogous place to where liver 3 is in the foot, right between the thumb and the first finger, and a little bit closer to the first finger, but it's right there in the fleshy part of your hand. I like to take my thumb and keep those hands independent of each other as I do this. That's just my preference. Find a comfortable way to rub your large intestine 4. This is another just good for everything point. If you ever feel out of sorts, you can rub large intestine 4, stomach 36, and liver 3, and just hope for the best. And another thing about this immunity flow is we may think of it as supercharging your immune system, but Qigong doesn't supercharge things. That's not the point. Qigong balances things. So it will help you if you have a virus or an invader in your system. It will help you figure out how to deal with that. But also if you're suffering from an autoimmune disease where your immune system is actually working too hard, you can use the same flow and it will help you balance it out. So this isn't one of those orange flavored supplements you take on an airplane. This is Qigong. All right. So to end, we're going to revisit the torso. I like to rub my kidneys first because it's so vigorous and it helps me calm down when we get to the end. If I'm rubbing my kidneys first. Bladder 23, that is. I can show you on Preston just how intense the bladder meridian is. That's like all that's going on back here is just up and down and up and down and up and down. I don't know why. I don't know why. All right, then we are going to revisit kidney 27, a gentle embrace under the collarbone. And now I am going to think about that line that goes from the soles of my feet up to where my fingertips are, and take some nice deep breaths. Lovely. And finally, rather than going to our dantian, we are going to bring our hands together with our thumbs pressed together and press those thumbs towards your heart center, conception vessel 17. And take a few more deep breaths. This point, aside from just being lovely, is associated with opening up and clearing the chest. So particularly useful if what is bothering you is an upper respiratory issue. All right, and that's the immune flow. And now that we've got all of our juices flowing, I'm going to transition us into our Peaceful Dragon Rising. Feet parallel and shoulder width. Take a moment breathing, just try to relax into this stance. Release any tension you're holding in your body. You can twist it and shake it out if you need to. Now take a nice big breath in. And breathing out, look down at the floor. And bring the head back up. And look up. Breathe. And bring the head to center. And now tilt the head all the way to one side, opening up space in your neck. And back to center. Tilt the head to the other side. Breathe into that space. And up. And now we're going to turn the head, look over one shoulder. Breathe. Bring the head to center. And turn the head and look over the other shoulder. Breathe into the stretch. And bring the head back to center. Now shift your weight into one leg. Turn the other foot out. Breathe in. And breathing out, we're going to bend the waist to a place that is comfortable for you. Just let the torso hang. Getting a nice stretch in your back. And breathing in to start to roll back up that spine. Straighten that foot out, center your weight, flex those knees and extend the fingertips. And now we're going to shift our weight all the way to the other side And breathing out, bend the waist. And breathing in, roll on up. Straighten center, flex and extend. And we're going to circle the arms, straightening our knees back up, stretching up, and bringing them down. We'll flex those knees again and bring the arms around to hug a tree. And straightening up, push the palms to the ceiling. See if we can tighten your glutes here, get a nice stretch all along your back. And release it, relax it, let everything float down, palms face the floor. And we'll do balancing. Shift your weight into one foot, pick the other foot up just a little, feel the adjustments, that is correct. Balance is fluid, set that foot down. Shift your weight, pick the other foot up. Little adjustments to keep ourselves up and set that foot down. Beautiful. And now for swinging the arms, we're turning the hips here, tapping across the front and trying to hit your kidneys in the back. Oh, kidneys, the foundation pellet in traditional Chinese medicine. So gotta tap them. Gotta rub them, gotta tap them, gotta use that meridian, and we'll be very healthy. And we're going to deepen this with a weight shift and a heel pivot. And now our front hand is coming up to tap our shoulder gateway. Well, our back hand continues tapping those kidneys, because why would it ever stop? Okay, let that wind on down. Lovely. And I'm going to make sure my feet are back to parallel and shoulder width, because you get a little out of sorts there. We're going to roll our shoulders back. Nice big rolls, nice and slow. Remember to keep breathing. One more. And now we're going to roll forward. And now just shake them. Oh, shake those shoulders. Beautiful. And we're going to clasp the fingers in front. Push the palms out so you feel a nice stretch across the back of your shoulders. And release it. And you're going to take the hands behind your body, push them down and away from the body so you feel a stretch across the front of your shoulders here. And release it. Lovely. And we're going to rotate the ankles. So if you are worried about balance, you can hold on to something. But we'll put one foot at an angle for stability, shift our weight into that, pick the other foot up and rotate that ankle 10 times in one direction. And 10 times the other way. And now set that foot down at an angle, shift your weight over there. Pick the other foot up and rotate that ankle 10 times in one direction. And 10 times the other way. And now step forward with that foot, shift your weight into it. We're going to bend the toes behind us, opening up space here on the bottom of the foot. That's kidney one again, just giving it a little more access to that earth. And set that foot down, shift your weight back. You're going to pick these toes up and now take your hands and stretch down this leg. And if you are more flexible than I am and you can reach liver 3, this is a good time to rub your liver 3. Breathe, relax into this stretch. And let's come on up. And we'll switch the feet. The other foot forward, shift your weight forward, and bend the toes behind you. Oh, very nice. And we'll set that foot down, shift your weight back, and stretch down the front leg. Breathe, relax into the stretch. And let's come on up. We're going to switch the feet once more, stepping forward with the other foot. This time we're going to point the toes in the back, unless it hurts, and then you can bend them again. But as you point the toes, try to release and relax all of the muscles in your hips and your legs, letting the ground support the weight of your body. Keep your head top lifted, your chin weighted. Achieve Tai Chi alignment. And we'll set that foot down, shift the weight back. Pick the front toes up. You're going to push the hips back and lean forward till you feel a nice stretch in your calf. And just stay there. Breathe into that stretch. We love a calf stretch. And let's come on up. Switch the feet, the other foot forward. Shift your weight forward. Point those back toes. Release the hips. Relax the legs. Head top lifted, chin weighted. Everything balanced. And set that foot down, shift your weight back, toes up, hips back, lean forward for the calf stretch. Breathe. Deepen that stretch. And let's come up. All right, we're going to come back to feet parallel and shoulder width. Now for medal season, we are adding a movement from the Wild Goose form called grasping air to the middle of our Peaceful Dragon Rising form. And so I'll take you through that. We'll just learn as we go. You're going to take one hand. It's called grasping air. You're going to reach out at shoulder level, grasp some air, hold it in a little fist, and bring the mouth of that fist right back to this point. This is lung one. And as you reach forward with the next hand, you're going to turn to let that hand reach, bring that air back, feed it to lung one, and we're going to continue. We're going to do this 10 times. This is 4, 5, 6. You're breathing in as you reach, out as you bring that air back. One more time on each side, 9 and 10. Now stay there because we're going to grasp the air from behind us now. We're going to lift one hand, turn, look behind you, swoop that hand to gather some air, like this. That's perfect. Bring it up. And now let your pinky side of your hand fall down to your chest to feed that air. That's very good. And then we'll do the other side. Big swoop here. Hand comes up. Bring that air down. Very, very good. Okay, and this is 3. Very nice. We're breathing in and out. In and out. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, that's grasping air. I need to straighten my feet out a little bit. I don't know about you. I'm gonna bring my hands down, like a big ball. I'm relaxed in this position, my knees slightly bent. Now I'm gonna breathe in, straighten everything up, push up with one palm, push down with the other, stretching the shoulder blades apart. And release. Bring everything back to center, relax, flex, breathe in, and we'll do the other side. Looking up with your upper hand, that's very good. and relax. Everything comes back down. We're gonna hold our hands in loose fists now as we get ready for the bow and arrow. So one hand stretches out, pulling your shoulder blades together in the back. Keep the other elbow up as high as the shoulder. And relax. Do the other side, breathing in, pull the shoulder blades together, and feel that stretch. And relax. Beautiful. Clap the hands. Push the palms down for straightening up. Swing those hands over the head. And relax. Let everything float down. Bring the hands to either side of that dantian. Straighten up. And bring your hands to go inside of the hands, go down the inside of the legs. Around the toes. Up the back of the legs. To the lower back as you straighten up. Look up and breathe out. And now this snake creeps down. Turn one foot out. Shift your weight into that foot. Step forward, but do not put any weight in this forward leg. This hand, we're going to take the back of the hand and go down the inside of the leg. When you get down, bring that hand out in front of you. Bring it up. Very nice. Make a beak by touching all four fingers to the thumb. And bring that back around to your kidneys. Switch the feet. The other hand goes down the inside of the leg, out in front, and up. Make your beak, bring it down and around, back to the nest. And we'll sweep the grass, shift your weight again. Bend the waist, splay the fingers, and sweep the grass. Make that beak, swish the feet. And last side, sweep the grass. Beautiful. Now use those beak hands and rub those kidneys. Okay, peaceful dragon. All right, we'll take a quick break and be back with some movement. Welcome back. We are going to do now the opening four moves of the Wild Goose form. And there are some different reasons I think that this works particularly well in metal season, though these moves work well all the time. But I've rearranged them a bit. In the Wild Goose form, you would do open wings, close wings once, followed by pull wings to back and jerk arms twice. But we're going to do a little set of open wings, close wings, pull wings to back, jerk arms, open wings, close wings, pull wings to back, jerk arms, and open wings, close wings. Because I think it makes a nice little meditative, repetitive movement. But first we have to learn all four of those movements, which is a bit much, but perfect is not the most important thing here. I just think it's a lovely thing to do in this particular moment. So I'm going to just demonstrate these moves first. I'll do it facing forward and facing back because there's stuff going on in the back. So to begin, we are just parallel and shoulder width. And this is open wings. You'll see why. And then we close wings like this. And now pull wings to back is a little bit more complicated. We'll spend some time on this. And then jerk arms. Kind of looks like jerking arms. So I'll do it from the back. Even though we are not really picking up our feet and moving them around, there is a remarkable amount of stuff going on with our feet and legs here. So this is open wings. And we close the wings. Open wings to the back. and your arms. Yeah. So it is a nice fluid movement when we do that. And then it is easy once you are in that last step of jerk arms. You can see how we could go right back to closed wings just by going like this and starting over again. So that'll come up in a minute, but first we need to figure out what we're doing here. So we'll take it one move at a time. Open wings feels amazing. And I recommend it to people all the time because first and foremost, it's a great stretch. One of the things that you might want to focus on, particularly for winter, is the opening up of the lung one point. So again, to find lung one, you stretch your arms all the way out, make little right angles with your thumbs, and then keep your upper arms in place, pivot at the elbows, and bring those thumbs in, and you will find a nice tender lung one spot. It usually is somewhere near a bra strap if you are wearing a bra. And it can be, you can actually get kidney 27 at the same time if you want to. It can be very sensitive, but it helps us feel our feelings when we are experiencing anything, that catches your breath, such as grief of the metal season. This spot, again, Qigong is about balance. Suppressing your feelings is not the thing to do. Lung one will help you open up and process what you need to process. So when we're going up like this, we're opening our heart center and we're also opening up lung one. So our feet are going to stay where they are for the most part, but we're going to kind of hinge at the hips a little to get this movement started. Just letting your torso kind of fall a bit forward to get the arms moving. And then the arms are going to start to straighten up and come out in front. We're still leaning forward a little bit. And then as they come up, we're going to straighten up too. And then you're going to come back as the arms start to move back, looking up at the ceiling with your palms now facing up at the ceiling. And you may find as you're doing this that when you get to this point where you're leaning back, your heels feel like floating up from the ground. They might not actually float up, and they certainly shouldn't be like this or anything. But you may feel that your weight is more focused in the balls of your feet when you are fully spread of your wings. And then the motivation, because that is, it's a fairly straightforward movement, but you can feel lung one also pressing up to the sky along with opening up your heart center, which again clears the chest. Good for upper respiratory things. But once you are all the way up with your wings open, you need to then pull those wings back so you can close those wings, because you're gathering universe energy here. And that's great, but you need to pull it back into yourself. So the ultimate motivation of this movement, once your wings are spread, is you're going to think about grounding your heels and moving that weight in your feet towards your heels. And you'll feel that that moves you forward. It starts rolling your torso forward. And you're going to follow that momentum with your arms. I'll go like this again. And now when your torso and your head get to upright, they're going to stay there. There's no more leaning forward as you do this. Your arms are doing all the work of bringing that universe energy in. You're going to bring it right down to your lower dantian. Your hands are feeding that energy into your body. Your body is receiving. So that's already really good, right? We love that. But next, you know what? Let's go through those two movements on their own before we go to what is next. All right. So if I'm just starting out, feet are parallel, shoulder width. I'm going to lean my torso forward, straighten out those arms, bring those arms up. And as they come up, my torso straightens. And as they come back, my torso goes back. I look up at the ceiling. My heels feel a little floaty here, but they're still on the ground. but I'm going to ground them now and start bringing that universe energy right back in towards myself. Totally upright, head top lifted, chin weighted. Very nice. Okay, simple enough, right? Yeah. So what are we going to do next? We have universe energy in the mix. And in our longer meditative version of this, we are also going to think about how we're bringing up earth energy as we move these hands up. So we've got those things going on, but we need to bring in some nature energy. So that is all about pull wings to back. So we're like this. Maybe you want to watch it one more time. You're going to move our hands and our knees, and then push those hands forward, turn the wrists, and we're going to rise up on our toes, come back, and then there's this complicated thing happening once our hands come back. We touch large intestine 4 to gallbladder 30. We bring those little beak hands up, and we go like this. And that's your arms too. Okay, so that's the second half of this movement. So with the first part, we are mostly in the business of gathering earth energy. It's around us. Universe is up, earth is down. I said earth and I meant nature. Nature energy is horizontal to us. So we're taking this big sweep of earth energy, gathering it up into our little beak hands. And then one thing you'll notice about your little beak hands is this whole section of them, the running down your first finger, that is all the large intestine meridian. So we're taking the large intestine meridian, putting it on our kidneys, and sweeping, using the energy of the large intestine meridian to get rid of anything back in our kidneys that doesn't need to be there. And the kidney energy is a complicated energy. It's your primordial energy that you came into the world with. This is where you first develop as a little embryo. And it's the energy you inherited from your parents, that they inherited from theirs. It can encode some generational trauma. So you want to keep it clear, you want to keep it happy. And also you want to make sure that your personal chi, the rest of the energy in your body that you're getting from your nutrient center, is sufficient that you never have to go back to draw on your primordial chi, because that's when you get into trouble with the whole generational issues. So you got to keep yourself energized and healthy, and also you got to keep that area from getting clogged up and messy. Large intestine can really help when things are clogged up. So that's what's happening there. Really useful thing for a time of year when emotions are very, very strong. Okay, but how do we do it though? Okay, we are actually doing some things with our feet here that are rather complicated. So when we've just come back and we're fully upright and we have our universe energy to our nutrient center, we're like this. But when we move our hands like this, we're also bending the legs. So the palms now are facing each other and the knees are slightly bent. Then we're going to push the palms out in front of us, leaning forward while straightening the knees. So that's kind of a complicated movement. There's kind of 3 things happening at once, even though it looks very simple, right? Then once we get out there, you're going to swivel the wrists so that your palms are facing forward. And now is that moment that you witness where you open up like a flower, pull those palms around, and you're lifting up off of your toes. The heels are off the ground here. You don't have to push it. They don't have to be as high as you might think, just as long as they're lifting up. Your hands are going to come around. You're lifting up on your toes as you're coming up, and then as the hands start to float down, you're going to flatten those feet on the ground. Okay, so that brings us to here. And then more complicated things happen. So now we're here and our hands have to get to large intestine 4, touching gallbladder 30. I'll show you on Preston because it's a little bit, of a sensitive spot for people, but it's right sort of in an area between the hip and the glute, if you will. And so your hands are going to connect there before turning into little weak hands and coming up to your kidneys. But while that is happening, when you get to here, you are going to lift your heels up once again, but you're going to do it at the same time as bending your knees. So you're not getting taller or shorter. You're just doing one of these guys. So you're up on your toes. See if I can get a little better. Like this, lifting those heels up. And then when we jerk our arms finally, so we're squeegeeing our kidneys with our fingers, and we at the same time are bringing the hands around to our sides and flattening those heels on the ground with some force. It should really feel like you're a loaded spring here and you're releasing. So let's practice that second half one more time. We're here, we're upright, our hands are in front of us, and we're going to bend our knees, palms are facing each other, straighten but lean forward, push out, bend the wrists, now open up on your heels, and then lower down. Let large intestine 4 touch gallbladder 30, make beats with your hands, lift the heels up, bend the knees, and release. Beautiful. Okay. All right. So this is running a little long. I forget how long explaining this whole thing actually does take, but it's worth it in the end. So let's put it together. And I'll just talk us through this because I know we're just learning this. It takes some practice, but we're going to stand parallel shoulder width. Our hands are at our sides. Now lean ever so slightly forward. Let your arms fall forward and straighten out. Pulling the arms up. And open your wings and just feel a nice stretch here. Now ground your heels. Bring those hands, sweeping that universe energy. Stay upright, head top lifted. And now bend the knees. And push forward. Swivel the wrists. Open up. Float down. Let the hands touch gallbladder 30. Make beaks. Lift your heels, bend your knees, and release. All right, straighten everything up and lower your hands down. Lean forward. And open your wings. Opening that heart center and lung one up to the universe. Ground your heels and close your wings, bringing universe energy back to your dantian. And now bend your knees, lean forward, palms are facing each other, push out, swivel the wrists, open up, float down, touch large intestine 4 to gallbladder 30, make beaks, bend your knees, lift your heels, and release. And now straighten up with the hands down, lean forward, and now think about lifting earth energy up through the bottom of your heels, through your ankles, your knees, your hips, your spine, through your shoulders, down to your elbows and wrists, up the back of your neck to the top of your head. And ground your heels. Sweep that universe energy back towards your body. We'll stay like this for a moment. letting our hands give and our body receive. Take a big deep breath, pushing your belly out towards your hands. And release it, relaxing everything out. Breathe in and out. And out. Overlap your hands over your dantian. Breathe naturally. And close. We'll end it there for today. Thank you so much for joining.